Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. In today's video, I want to give an update for how I traded in November of 2022. So before we get into the trade log, let's take a look at the SPY monthly chart. So what you're seeing here is a candlestick chart for the year 2022. November is right here at this green candle. You can see we had a good 2 months, October and November in the markets, and then so far December is red. So green for November for the SPY. Let's take a look at the Qs, and you can see once again, if we just scale this right here, green October, green November for the Qs, again red in December so far. And for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you got a major move upward in October, and then again you have a continuation of that pattern, and then so far we're giving back those gains in December. So overall in the market, SPY, Qs, Dow all had green Novembers. So how did I do here at Trading 5 Talents? Here's my trading dashboard. So once again, this is a free Google Sheet. If you would like your own copy, then go ahead and click on the link down in the description. Click on File, then click on Save a Copy, and then you can edit it as you see fit. I will be updating this to the 2023 version in just a little bit. There aren't going to be any changes to it in terms of the formulas or features. I'm just going to be updating the dates. So that should be coming out pretty soon. All right, so let's look at November. You can see November. I had a pretty poor month. You can see I lost $3,639 in the month of November. That wasn't a good thing. I had a lot of gains in October, primarily from the earnings play on Meta that went down quite a bit. And I really gave all of that money back to the market this past November. So since I took this loss, I'm taking it in my personal account. I'm not taking it out of the lifestyle trading account that I'm using to pay for my Tesla payments. So obviously I had a loss, therefore I can't make a Tesla payment this month. I'm going to hopefully have to make it up this month of December or in the following year. But anyway, I had a loss. So let's take a look at some of these trades. Okay, in the month of November, once again, 36.39.50 loss. 65 trades were made, and if we look over here, on the right, you can see, obviously red is loss, green is gain for each of these trades. Each row represents a trade that I made, and it was, it seems like it was about half and half in terms of losers and winners. I went on a pretty good win streak down here, but my losers were much greater than my winners. So let's take a look at some of these types of trades. So if we can go up to this slicer up here under type, you can filter out the types of trades that you want to see. So for example, if we just want to look at my verticals, so just a call vertical and put vertical, and it's going to be both long and short that are selected. You can see right here, these are my profits and losses. And in total, I lost $1,750. So $1,750 on just verticals. Now let's look at call verticals. 1508. So that's where the majority of my losses came from these short call verticals. And if we look at just short call verticals, you can see 1634 were the losses. So a lot of my, well, I guess about half of my losses came from these short call verticals or these call credit spreads. And so what I was trying to do is I was trying to use SPY, look at their the resistance and support levels and play accordingly. So I was very bearish on the market during this time. And as you can see from the candlesticks I showed at the beginning, we had a green month, so this wasn't a good play for me because I kept trying to put a limit on where SPY would go, at that at that resistance level, and basically making a trade saying that SPY would not go above my short strike on that call credit spread. So there's a video on these vertical spreads and how to set them up. And so obviously I was wrong on a lot of these, and I was wrong so much that I lost $1,600 on it. And if we scroll over here, you can see there were a lot of winners. So my thesis was correct on several of these trades, but when I was wrong, I was really wrong. So negative 200, negative 780, negative 1470, negative 660, negative 410. Those are really big losses, and it really outsized the smaller gains that I was getting, anywhere between $100 and $300. Now, in a normal sense, $100 to $300 per trade, that would be really great for me. except the risk management wasn't there like I needed it to be, and that's why I had this bigger loss on these short call verticals. All right, so let's put all these back on, and let's take a look at. Iron condors was another big thing that I was trading. These would all be short iron condors, and so a lot of the testing that I've been doing with my iron condors, I've put in previous videos, and there's a playlist just on iron condor strategies. So a lot of that is what I'm testing out here on SPY and as well as on the Qs. So you can see, once again, I had the majority of winners, but my losers really outdid my winners, which is why I ended up with a negative 240 net loss for my iron condors. I also did some single option plays, so calls and puts, and you can see I lost $1,600 on this. Now, if we just look, for example, on the short calls, now these would have been covered calls, so sort of like the traditional wheel strategy that I was doing all last year, and these were all winners, and that's a very profitable strategy. However, in this bear market, it hasn't been working that well for me, but I do want to continue to trade the wheel once conditions turn around and we start getting back into a bull market. So what's going on here with these singles? So if we go back to just long calls and long puts, this is where I lost that, that big amount, $1,840 loss. And if we come over here, you can see all of these were losers. And I only had 2 winners for just small gains. Now, this, once again, and I keep telling myself this, but one of these days I'll probably listen to myself, is that I'm not very good at picking the direction of which way the market is going. So I had a more bearish outlook in November, yet the market went green. And I picked a direction by buying these longs and by buying these long puts and long calls. And you can see they didn't turn out too well. And in 2 cases, I would lose, right? So one is if the direction I picked was just plain wrong, you obviously would lose. And secondly, if you were right, but you weren't right in picking the time frame. Like I knew it was going to go down and I bought a put, but it didn't go down quick enough by the time the expiration came around. And so I would still lose on it. So that's the problem with, for me at least, with buying single options. You have to get the direction right and you have to get the timing right. And because I'm not very good at that, that's why I went with credit spreads. You could be wrong in terms of timing, but theta decay works in your favor, so you would still keep that premium. And with credit spreads, you don't have to be exactly right with the direction. You just have to make sure that it doesn't the price doesn't exceed your short strike. So you don't have to be exactly right. You just can't be exactly wrong with credit spreads. That's why I liked them, and that's why I traded them so much more. And I was moderately successful. However, what really burned me this month and why I lost so much money is the risk management portion. And that leads me to why I'm doing these types of neutral strategies like the iron condor. And that's why I'm doing all this testing, because I'm not great at picking a direction. So that's why I like these iron condors, and that's why I want to continue to sort of flesh out the details and optimize it as much as possible. So if you want more information about those strategies that I'm using and how I'm tweaking the strategy each time I test a new one, then please go ahead and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can be notified of when those come out. So remember, once again, this trading dashboard is free. It is a Google Sheets link. Go ahead and click on the link down below. If you have any questions about that, then please feel free to let me know. I'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible. Until next time, trade wisely and take care.